I've done the homework, and today we're ranking the best and worst luxury builders in Dallas so you don't have to gamble with your investment. When it comes to luxury new construction, some builders have absolutely mastered the art of creating these incredible high-end homes, but the question is, who are they? Now, you might think in this video, I'm going to give you all this straightforward, objective data to where anyone can use the same metric to decide exactly who the best builder is. But that's actually not what I'm going to do at all. Instead, we're going to be surprisingly subjective. We're going to go by what makes the best luxury home builder for me. And I can tell you right now, my criteria may be quite different than yours. If I'm shopping for a luxury home, I want choices. I want the sky to be the limit when it comes to how I can design it, and I don't want to be nickel and dime to death. I want plenty of choices in elevation as well as design, and I want a website that's going to make it easy for me to see those choices. I want a warranty where the builder is going to stand behind his product. And when it comes to customization, I want it all. I want to be able to move walls, add bathrooms, heck, start from scratch if I want to. But since I'm not an architect, I also want a good builder to help guide me along in the process, and I want them to give me lots of suggestions. I want reputation, so I'm gonna go to Google reviews and they better be good. I want to be able to build anywhere I want, on any size lot I want, and with any topography that I want. I want plenty of luxury communities to choose from. And I want a contract that's not going to break the bank. Now, my expectations are not high here. I know builder contracts are written to benefit the builder, but still, I want to know that I'm reasonably protected. Now, I realize some of those may not be your goals, so keep that in mind as we review each of these builders. And we're going to start out with American Legend. American Legend does an amazing job with design. Their elevations are very nice with plenty of variations in both medium and high roof pitches. I like their use of soft arches over windows. Plus, they give you asymmetrical roof slopes that really play out well. Like sometimes you can see that style and it just does not look right at all, but American Legend pulls it off. Their website is super easy to navigate. They offer 130 floor plans and you can easily see where each one is available. They've got a nice mix of 1-story and 2-story options, but in the luxury price range over $1 million, they only offer 2-story homes, so that is less than ideal. If you need an ensuite bath downstairs, especially for a next-gen setup, this is where American Legend delivers. They have multiple floor plans to choose from. So for design, I'm giving them an A, all right? Lots of choices and easy to find. Now, when it comes to warranties, American Legend offers a 1-2-6. So we're talking about 1 year for materials and workmanship, 2 years for mechanical systems, and 6 years for structural coverage. I like that they handle their warranty in-house. It's always better when you're dealing with the builder who stands behind their product. That said, 6 years for structural coverage falls short compared to other builders who offer up to 10 years. So because of that, I'm giving their warranties an A-. All right, it's a good, could be better. Customization is where things get interesting. You'll need to pick one of their floor plans, and the options available depend on the community. Now, they do have a good variety of structural and design choices, and their design center is a nice touch. You'll work with a design consultant to personalize your home. Unfortunately, their online tools fall short, okay? There's no idea gallery to preview options. Plus, okay, and this is important, their design center has a low 2.8 star rating with complaints about price gouging and customer service. Now, most of those reviews are older, but there are a couple of recent ones who mentioned the same issues. For customization, I'm giving them a B+. They have solid in-person options, but they need to improve their online resources. Now, speaking of reviews, American Legend has 13 community reviews on Google. About 62% of them are 4.5 stars or higher, while 38% are 4.4 stars or lower. The feedback is generally positive, but generally, okay, that's not good enough. So I'm giving them a B for Google reviews. The scores are decent, but I'd love to see a whole lot more above 4.5 stars. As for location, American Legend builds in 19 communities across 15 suburbs. That being said, okay, most of their luxury homes are in places like Frisco, Prosper, Salina, and the Colony. So definitely less options, but they are hitting some of the most popular luxury areas. Most of their homes sit on smaller lots under 1/3 of an acre. So if you want a larger lot at the luxury price point, the Tribute and the Colony is your best bet. Now, unfortunately, they don't let you build on your own lot. Not a whole lot of builders will, but it's always nice when they do. So for location, I'm giving them an A-. All right, they're in great areas, but more options for larger lots would make them even better. Their contracts have a few standout features. They have a dispute-based convenience clause, and if you're not familiar with that term, all right, it's basically something you'll see in new construction contracts fairly often that allows the builder to opt out of the contract. Like sometimes you'll see an unrestricted convenience clause where the builder can opt out for any or no reason at all. In the case with American Legend, their convenience clause is limited to only if there's a dispute. One thing I really like is their proactive tax reproration. I mean, how many builders won't reprorate at all after closing? And usually it is so obvious that the original proration was wrong. And yet American Legend is proactive about it. Now, on the downside, they don't offer any appraisal protection, and they have a $250 per day late fee, which is pretty steep. For contracts, I'm giving them a B+. I mean, there are some things to like there, but those penalties are definitely something you want to be aware of. Now, after looking at everything, American Legend really shines when it comes to design and elevations, and I really like what I see with that tax reproration. So overall, I'm giving them a grade of an A, putting them in 4th place. Next up, let's take a look at Shaddock Homes, starting off with design. Now, Shaddock Homes stands out with their architectural design, and they have a lot of options. With their elevations, you're gonna find both steep and moderate roof pitches, castle-like spires, sloped roofs, and then of course some nice traditional floor plans. They also offer plans with soft arches over garage doors and windows I really like. And honestly, a bit unique in the market, okay? So if that style catches your eye, it's not something you'll see in many other places. Inside, they really have some beautiful floor plans with several configurations between the kitchen, living, and dining areas. At their luxury level, they also have a nice variety of 1- and 2-story layouts, though most of them, okay, are gonna be your 2-story plans. I will tell you this, we've had luxury home buyers before who were like, Wendy, we absolutely must have a formal dining room. And that can be problematic because most new construction nowadays has gotten away from having a separate formal dining. Well, Shaddock is a good choice for this though, because they have a lot of options with formal dining rooms. They even have formal dining rooms right off the foyer too, which is definitely a look you don't see very often. So if a formal dining is a must, all right, you want to put Shaddock on your list. Now, to me, a lot of design and deciding on a floor plan is about the research part, and I like how navigable the Shaddock website is. They offer over 160 different floor plans, and they're super easy to browse through. The website is arranged great to where you can figure out a floor plan and then look at where it's built. So overall for design, I'm giving them an A+. When it comes to warranties, Shaddock provides a 1-to-10 warranty, which they oversee themselves. So this is, somewhat standard for the industry, but having them directly manage it, definitely a plus. So no complaints here. I'm giving their warranties an A. When it comes to customization, Shaddock is somewhat limited. You can't move load-bearing walls or reconfigure plumbing lines. Structural changes have to stick to their blueprints. Now that said, they do offer a lot of design options within those parameters. So if you're looking for like extensive structural customization, Shaddock may not be the right fit. For customization, I'm giving them a B+. When it comes to Google reviews, Shaddock has 20 communities with reviews. 80% of them are scoring 4.5 stars or higher, which is excellent. The remaining 20% came in at 4.4 or lower. So overall for reviews, I'm giving them an A. Okay, let's talk about location options. Shaddock builds in at least 7 different suburbs, including high demand areas like Frisco, Prosper, Salina, and Parker. At their luxury price point, you can find oversized lots too. Like almost half of them are at least 0.2 acres. And in Whitestone Estates in Parker, okay, they're even building on 1-acre lots. Now, I should add, you can't build on your own lot with them. I mean, that's fairly rare anyway, and most buyers wouldn't expect it, but it is icing on the cake when we can find it. So overall for location, they score an A-. The Shaddock contracts really aren't the best. They include the escalation clause, dispute-based convenience clause, and tax proration being final at closing. There's also no appraisal protection, meaning if the home doesn't appraise, it's on you to make up the difference. And you're pretty much going to see that with all new construction, but it's still really important to know that it's in there. So for contracts, I'm giving them a B-. When you put it all together, Shaddock Homes earns an A, which is going to put them in second place. I love their designs, and they've got some great locations, and their reviews are outstanding, but you're not going to be able to do a whole lot in the way of structural customization. Let's talk about Huntington Homes now, because if you're considering a luxury builder in Dallas, this one needs to be on your list. And by the way, if the name isn't familiar, basically Huntington is the higher end version of Highland Homes, which you probably have heard of. First off, their designs. Their elevations vary depending on the community, and you actually only have 2 communities. At Fields in Frisco, the look is very typical Highland Homes, all right? Steep pitched roofs, clean classic lines. I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't really scream luxury the way you'd expect at this price point. Now, on the other hand, Mustang Lakes in Salina, whole different story, okay? These homes are showstoppers. Like, they're sprawling, over 6,000 square foot in some cases, with high-pitched roofs, curved shutters, and even some modern designs. I mean, they have really pushed the envelope here, and it shows. Inside, Huntington Homes are absolutely breathtaking. Like, you can find beamed ceilings, black framed windows, decorative wood panels, and even a stove vent that backs up to a wall of windows. Several of them have prep kitchens, trade ceilings, and plenty of ensuite bedrooms. Outdoor living is also a priority, with courtyards and outdoor dining areas integrated into many of their floor plans. For design, I'm giving Huntington an A+, because they have nailed it, especially at Mustang Lakes. When it comes to warranties, Huntington offers the standard 1-10 warranty serviced by Highland Homes. And again, this covers 1 year for workmanship, 2 years for systems, and 10 years for structural issues. It's solid, okay? But we're gonna see with Britton Homes that we can do even better than a 1-10. So for warranties, I'm giving them an A. All right, let's talk about customization options. This is where Huntington gets interesting. Their website says they offer a lot of design and customization options, but you have to work within their set floor plans, and starting from scratch isn't an option. Customization also varies between communities. At Fields, options are minimal. Floor plans don't allow much flexibility beyond sliding glass doors or fireplaces. I mean, this is not really Huntington's fault either. All right, development rules at Fields are strict. Now, in Mustang Lakes, story changes. On those larger lots, they offer more, way more significant upgrades. Like their Orvito model, it includes an optional second story. Now, the thing is, Huntington has a lot of floor plans to work with, but the problem is they're only building in 2 communities, and one of those communities is really restrictive. Now, non-structural customization, the design part of it, okay, that gets a lot better. You have a huge range of design options. So overall, for customization, I'm giving them a B+. I mean, they have the setup to offer more, but it's just really limited by where and how many communities they're choosing to build in. All right, now here's where things get tricky. We need to talk about their Google reviews. There are only 3 total reviews. 33% of those reviews scored above 4.5 stars or higher, whereas 67% scored 4.4 or lower. That sounds pretty bad. All right, but here's the thing. Both of the communities with the lower reviews are older. I mean, the reviews are anywhere from like 2 to 13 years old. That being said, there's more recent feedback for Fields in Frisco, and they've earned all 5-star reviews in the past year. So the trend here is definitely positive. And of course, recent reviews are going to carry more weight than older ones. So for Google reviews, I'm giving Huntington an A-. Okay, so location. Location is another limiting factor. Huntington only builds in 2 communities right now, Fields in Frisco and Mustang Lakes in Salina, with a 3rd location on the way. Now, both are on the north side of the Metroplex, so you're out of luck if you're looking anywhere else. They also don't allow for build on your own lot projects, which some luxury builders do. Not a whole lot, but some do. Mustang Lakes offers your spacious 100 by 200 foot lots, okay, which is a big plus if you're after more land. So for location though, lack of variety earns them a B. Now, their contracts have some red flags. Their dispute-based convenience clause is going to give the builder the upper hand anytime there's a disagreement. Financing contingencies are decided by the seller, and there's no appraisal protection. Tax proration, finalized at closing. So if you close in March, by the time October rolls around, your tax bill is really going to set you back. And this is especially true when we're talking about luxury homes because the value change will be so much bigger. So none of these terms are huge surprises for new construction contracts, but that doesn't mean we have to get excited about them either. So for contracts, I'm giving them a B+. So where does Huntington stand? Well, the designs are stunning, particularly at Mustang Lakes. The warranty is solid and recent reviews are excellent. Customization and location options are pretty limited and their contract terms could definitely be better. So overall, I'm giving Huntington an A, which is gonna put them in third place. Moving on, let's talk about Tradition Homes because they're yet another of the luxury builders in the Dallas area, so they're automatically competing in the big leagues. Okay, let's talk about where they fall in the design category. Tradition Homes has a lot of elegant designs, but when it comes to variety in elevations, they tend to play it safe, okay? So what you're gonna see are a lot of steep roof pitches arranged in multiple patterns. Like you've got your 2 in front and 1 behind it, or you have 2 on each side with the entryway in the middle, or your 3 roof pitches with each, progressively smaller than the last. You even have multiple roof pitches with some flat sections in between. They do offer some farmhouse type, inspired designs, but you won't see castle-like spires like we're gonna see with Grand Homes or dramatic slopes like we're gonna see with Britton Homes. Remember how I raved about Shaddock's soft arches over windows and garage doors? Tradition doesn't offer anything like that. They rely on repositioning the same roof pitch to create variety, which keeps the look consistent, but really limits uniqueness. Now, so, when it comes to floor plans, there are 27 to choose from, with 15 offering 1-story options. And that might sound balanced, but in their luxury range, all 6 homes currently listed are 2-story. So if you want a large, elegant 1-story home, Tradition may not be the builder for you. They tend to equate 1-story homes with smaller floor plans. One thing I've noticed you'll see a lot of with Tradition is floor plans with the laundry room connected to the master bedroom. So you'll have like the master bedroom, then the master bathroom, your closet, and then your laundry room. And then your laundry room will have access from the hall. So some people love this setup, for convenience. I personally, I prefer more privacy between the master suite and other areas of the house. But either way, it's something you're gonna find with, goodness, almost every Tradition home. Overall, I give Tradition Homes an A- for design. Lots of good here, but not quite up to the standards we see with Shaddock and Huntington. Okay, let's talk about their warranty for a minute. When it comes to their warranty, it's a 1, 2, 6, and also 10. All right, so it's a little confusing, so let me break that down for you. First of all, they do not service the warranty in-house. They use structure home warranty, and this is not hugely uncommon, but again, it is like icing on the cake when you can have a builder who services their own warranty. So I'm always gonna give that a higher rating. In their contract, it says seller at seller's expense will provide a third-party warranty through structure home warranty. And then it says the third-party warranty may offer warranty coverage for major structural components for more than 6 years, but in no event shall seller have any warranty obligation after 6 years. So then you look over at the structure warranty and it actually does offer 10 years. So basically a 1, 2, 6, kind of 10 on an outsourced warranty. So not the best we've seen. So for warranties, I'm giving them a B. Moving on, let's talk about customization options. Now, Tradition is strong in this category, but there are limits, like you can't bring in your own floor plan or start from scratch. But that being said, they do a great job providing customization options within their framework. Like their website makes it easy to visualize elevation and structural changes. For structural customizations, they offer the usual suspects, right? We're talking about bay windows, sliding glass doors, vaulted ceilings in the master, but they also allow for your bigger changes, like adding an entire upstairs to some of their 1-story plans. Like many of their designs will offer flexibility to go with either a 1 or 2-story. So I really like that. If you're willing to work within their parameters, you'll find plenty of ways to customize. So overall, I'm giving them a grade of a B+. Now here's where I get really excited when it comes to Tradition, and it's their Google reviews. Now out of 6 communities listed, every single one of them scored 4.5 stars or higher. And here's the thing, within those 6 communities, there were 139 total reviews with an average rating of 4.8. I mean, that is impressive. Okay, a lot of builders struggle with consistency in customer satisfaction, but Tradition nails it. So my grade for Google reviews is absolutely an A+. When it comes to location, Tradition focuses exclusively on 2 northern suburbs, all right? Salina and Prosper. So if you're looking in those specific suburbs, hey, Tradition is great, but otherwise this is pretty limiting. Their luxury level homes are on somewhat oversized, like 65 to 70 foot lots, which is nice, but they don't offer acreage or build on your own lot plans. So don't expect that. I mean, basically, if you're set on Salina or Prosper, okay, they're worth considering. But if your search includes other areas, okay, you're pretty much out of luck. So for location, I'm giving them a B. Okay, let's talk about contracts, because here's where things get a little tricky. Tradition has an unrestricted convenience clause, meaning they can terminate the contract for any or no reason at all. They also impose a $500 per day late fee and a social media gag order. Now, on top of that, there's no appraisal protection, right? So once again, if the appraisal comes in low, it's on you to make up the difference. It's not like any builder contract is gonna come in with an A+ for me, okay? But $500 a day for a late fee, okay, that's pretty steep. So for contracts, I'm giving them a B. When it's all said and done, Tradition Homes earns an overall grade of B+ for me, placing them 6th among our luxury builders. And this is a great example of how we are dealing with the cream of the crop with these luxury homes, because Tradition builds a fantastic high quality home, but their design options aren't quite as nice as what we see like with Shaddock and Huntington, and they don't have as many locations. All right, still, okay, Tradition is very nice, and I'm telling you, those Google reviews are amazing. Moving on, here's what you need to know about Grand Homes. Now, Grand Home absolutely has it going on when it comes to design. Like, their architectural diversity and their elevations are stunning. And this is probably one of their best features. If you're after a home with curb appeal, Grand Homes is hard to beat. Their options include castle-like designs with spires, steeply sloped roofs. They have a stucco Mediterranean style. They also use a lot of individual roof elements, like over the porch and over individual windows. So a lot of innovative design in their elevations. On the inside, you'll almost always see massive vaulted ceilings, not just in the living room, but extending through the kitchen and dining areas too. They'll often have like gorgeous curved staircases and a huge wall of windows. With that though, you should expect a 2-story home if you go with Grand. Like, all of their signature design elements, like the huge vaulted ceilings, right? The curved staircases, all of that calls for a 2-story home. And sure enough, out of their 97 floor plans, only 5 are 1-story, and those are all going to be on the smaller side. So if you're set on luxury in a single-story home, all right, Grand Homes might not be the right fit. All right, we're going to see that there are some builders that are going to offer that 1-story on a luxury level, but it's just not going to be Grand. On the plus side, navigating their website is easy. You can browse floor plans and see exactly where they're available. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about when I tell you they are gorgeous. So overall, for design, Grand Homes gets an A+. Their warranty program is a standard 1 to 10 model, and I like that it offers that full 10-year structural, because many builders have been reducing it to 6. Now, that being said, Grand does outsource their warranty service, which is never going to rank as high for me. Okay, so for warranties, I'm going to give them a B+. All right, customization. This is another area where Grand absolutely shines. I mean, they are extremely highly customizable. You can add a 2nd story, rearrange walls. You can have architectural plans drawn to personalize one of their existing floor plans. Now, you still have to start with one of their plans. So creating a completely custom plan is not an option. But still, of the builders we've talked about so far, Grand does allow the most structural customizations. Now, we're going to find one that does even more. But so far, on our luxury home journey here, okay, Grand is taking it. One downside is that everything extra comes at a price. So like expect to be nickel and dimed for upgrades. I mean, you're gonna pay for every little thing. Now that being said, they do a great job of helping you, and they have a 5,000 square foot design studio to work through your choices. So no surprise here when it comes to customization, I'm giving Grand an A+. Okay, are you ready? Because here's where things get less impressive. Grand Homes has a total of 27 Google community reviews. About 41% are 4.5 stars or higher, but the remaining 59% fall below that. And here's what's really concerning. The communities with the highest ratings usually only have 1 or 2 reviews in them. And what stands out in a really bad way, all right, is that they have some 1-star reviews that are actually pretty current. So a concerning amount of low reviews, and some of them being pretty recent. So for Google reviews, this is pretty ugly. I'm gonna have to go with a C-. Okay, how about location? What kind of options are you gonna have? Well, Grand Homes builds in over 30 communities across the whole Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're talking north, south, east, west, all sides. And if you compare that to what we've been looking at so far, most of these luxury builders have been focused like on the north and possibly east sides. So if you're wanting luxury and the north and east sides don't work for you, Grand could be a viable option. But what if you're looking for a larger lot? Well, Grand can accommodate you to a degree, okay? They do have a few 1-acre options in Parker. However, you can't build on your own lot. And for the most part, you're probably going to end up with a smaller 60 by 120 lot without trees. So for location overall, I'm giving them a strong B+. When it comes to their contracts, you're gonna see they don't include appraisal protection, which again, we're gonna be hard pressed finding that with any new construction builder, but it still bears pointing out. You need to know that as a buyer, you're exposed there, all right? Now, they also have a dispute-based convenience clause, no tax, reproration, and a 2% late fee per month on any unpaid purchase price. So for contracts, I'm giving them a B. Taking everything into account, I'm giving Grand Homes an overall grade of a B, which actually puts them in last place on our list. And I love their designs. I mean, I absolutely love their level of customization, but those Google reviews are really concerning. All right, let's dive straight into Britton Homes now and what you need to know about them. And if you're not familiar with the Britton name, just know it's the higher end version of Perry Homes, owned by the same company. Jumping into their design options, let's talk about their elevations. Britton Homes has some really distinctive options. Like one layout that stands out, okay, you'll see quite a bit, is where you have like a 1-car garage on one side of the house, then the whole main living space, and then a 2-car or sometimes like a J-swing garage on the other side. So it's kind of a unique look for them. I wouldn't say that we see that a whole lot. They also have some elegant sloped roof options and some nice modern 1- and 2-story designs. If none of those work for you, over at the Fields in Frisco, you'll find several options like more in a craftsman or farmhouse style, along with, you know, what we would consider like the signature Perry Britton look with the high-pitched roof lines. And honestly, if you've been considering both Perry and Britton, you're not going to see a huge difference in their elevations. The main difference is where they built. Britton focuses on your pricier neighborhoods. Inside, Britton really shines. You'll find many floor plans that include ensuite bedrooms downstairs, and some will come with like a small private study tucked right off the master bedroom. The interiors are gorgeous. All right, think decorative light fixtures, beamed ceilings, and stunning kitchens with waterfall edged islands. Master bathrooms, all right, they are showstoppers, okay? Like dual entry walk-in showers with elegant tile surrounds and standalone tubs. I mean, with Britton on those interiors, all right, they know how to bring the wow factor. If you are a 1-story lover, Britton's got you covered, okay? Out of 20 homes currently listed on the MLS, 8 are 1-story options. And these aren't the smallest floor plans either. So you can still get elegance with a 1-story home. And you know, for example, we saw that with Grand Homes, that's not always the case. A few thoughts on their website. It's a good, but it's not ideal. All right, you can only view floor plans by individual community, which really limits how you compare options across the board. So I like to see all my floor plans in one place. I mean, it's just easier to get my creative juices flowing. So overall, I'm giving them an A- in design. When it comes to the Britton warranty, they offer a 2-2-10, which is a full year more than what our other builders offer. And this is about as good as it gets in new construction. So I'm giving their warranty an A+. When I ask myself how customizable is Britton, both structurally as well as design choices, they are definitely more limited than Grand Homes in terms of structural changes, but they do have some good choices. Like, you have to operate within their existing floor plans, but they include a lot of variations there. Like, you can do things like adding bedrooms, media rooms, fireplaces, sliding doors, and I like how easy it is to see these options. Now, Britton builds in the fields, and just like we saw with Huntington, they won't be able to customize as much there. The Fields in Frisco is a popular luxury community right now, but the developer has a lot of strict restrictions there. Britton offers plenty of design selections and has a fantastic idea gallery on their site. I mean, it is packed with photos of everything from elevations to bathrooms, and I love that. Like, several builders we've talked about so far didn't have that, and I like that Britton does. So overall, Britton's customization options are solid, and I'm giving them an A. Britton has 6 Google reviews, 67% of which are above 4.5 stars, and 33% fall between 4.1 and 4.3. Now, one thing I especially like seeing, okay, and I love it when I see this, is that the reviews from the Star Trail community in Prosper, it mentions one person over and over again saying they're delivering excellent service. And I love when I see that, right? Because I can be like, hey, that's the person we want to work with. Still, we've got some ratings that are below 4.5. So on Google reviews, I'm giving them a B+. In terms of location, Britton builds in 6 communities, which is not a lot. Most lots are around 0.2 acres or less, so not really like your super oversized lots. They go up to about like 76-foot wide home sites. Their locations are primarily to the north, but they are branching out with a luxury community in Hearst within Keller ISD. And that's notable, okay, because luxury new construction closer to the city, like not in the far exurbs, okay, that's pretty rare. That said, they don't offer custom builds on your own lot, and 6 communities isn't a lot of variety. So for location, I'm giving them a B+. Okay, contracts. Here's where Britton stumbles. They use the same contract as Perry Homes, and their contracts have some tough clauses. So let's talk about their termination fee. The Perry contract tells us you will lose 50% of your deposit the minute you pay it, even if your financing falls through. It's called a termination fee, and as they put it, the termination fee above is an appropriate remedy and reasonable and foreseeable estimate of damages that seller may incur incident to purchaser's failure to qualify for financing. So I really struggle with this, okay? I find it to just be so unreasonable. They also have the convenience clause, they have inspection restrictions, and possible but probably not tax reproration. So of all the contracts we've reviewed, okay, this one is really ugly. So for contracts, I mean, I hate to do this, but I have to give them a C. Taking everything into account, I'm giving Britton Homes a B+. Now that puts them in 5th place overall, but keep in mind that the contract rating really drags them down. So like, if you were super confident in your choice and financing, and you weren't afraid of the risk of losing your deposit, Britton is a strong option. Their warranty is absolutely the best out there. Okay, let's talk about the builder who has it all, okay? We need to talk about Partners in Building. I mean, you're gonna be blown away by how much this one has to offer, but we're gonna see it does come with one pretty big sizable catch. All right, so let's dig into it. So when it comes to elevations and design, I mean, how do we even describe a builder that is so open-ended you can use any design and elevation you want? Because that's what we're dealing with Partners in Building. I mean, the sky's the limit, and they give you all the resources to help you get there. Now, they do have some inventory homes, but the real push here is on new builds. Like, you can do an elegant 2-story with multiple high-pitched roof lines. You could go with a 1-story ranch design. If you like the modern look, that's also an option, right? If you want a sprawling 1-story with a lot of modern elegance, I mean, you can have that as well. Inside, you can expect to see things like textured wallpaper, trade ceilings, elegant light fixtures. The living spaces could be grandiose, or it could be more casual, like with almost a rustic look and contrasting fireplace and ceilings. I mean, just so much to offer here. So for design, I absolutely give them an A+. When it comes to their warranties, they service it themselves with a 226. So it's nice that they have that extra 2 years up front, but then it's limiting it to 6 years on structural, and I'm really not a fan of that. Overall, for warranties, I'm giving them an A. Now, customization is where they are absolutely top shelf. I mean, you can start from scratch with your own floor plan. They also have 311 pages of design inspiration and floor plans. So now, if you are new to the whole new construction design scene, right, they even provide seminars to help you learn how to do it. So this is just so far above and beyond any of the builders we've discussed in terms of customizing your home the way you want it. So for customization, no surprise here, I give them an A+. Looking at their Google reviews, we see they have 9 total community reviews. 89% of those scored above 4.5 stars or higher, while 11% scored below that. Now here's where it really gets good, okay? Only 2 of the 9 total community reviews were less than a perfect 5.0. And remember, we're talking about entire communities here, not individual reviews. Partners in Building is sitting right up there with Tradition Homes when it comes to incredible ratings and outstanding customer satisfaction. So once again, for Google reviews, we're handing out an A+. When it comes to location, we're again seeing more choices than we've seen with the other builders. All right, Partners builds in some beautiful areas, but they will also allow you to build on your own lot. Like you have the entire Metroplex unfolding before you. They don't leave you on your own though, okay? If that's just too much of a choice, too overwhelming, they also offer lots in multiple areas, including lots with acreage. They have 9 established communities, and then they also offer numerous open-ended build on your lot locations. They offer some inventory homes as well, but again, just not as many. So on location, no surprise here, I'm also giving them an A+. And now we've gotten to the big catch that we knew was coming. Let's talk about their contracts. Now, as part of their contract, Partners is going to require you to have a construction loan with draws. And if you're not familiar with the implications there, most production builders are going to have you finalize your loan after your home is fully built. The builder carries the risk while the home is under construction. Like you have to put down a deposit, and you may have to pay additional funds depending on your upgrades. During the construction phase, you don't have a monthly payment. And if things went south for some reason, you could still walk away. With most builders, you don't have to carry the risk, but with Partners in Building, you do. You're gonna close on your home before construction begins. You're gonna have monthly payments before you can live in that home. I mean, you can't walk away from this home without being foreclosed on. So their company name, right, completely accurate. You truly are Partners in Building with them. Other than the fact that you're committed from day one, understanding the nuances of a construction loan is important. Okay, so with Partner in Building's preferred lender, you only have one closing, so you don't pay closing costs twice. If you have at least 1 year's worth of your housing payment in savings, they won't count your current housing payment against your debt to income ratio. And that's going to be important in the qualifying process because a lot of times buyers haven't sold their current home yet, right? They still need a place to live. Now, another thing you need to know is the appraisal is completed at the beginning. Like usually it's going to be completed at the end when the home is fully built. The down payment can be as little as 5% down. And if you already own the lot, okay, the value of that lot, its equity, is applied towards your down payment. So for example, if you own a lot free and clear, that equity, okay, what the land is worth, could fund your down payment and you wouldn't need one. During the construction process, you'll have an interest-only monthly payment. It's going to get bigger as your loan balance grows. When your home is completely ready, the construction loan can be moved to permanent, and before they do that, you have the opportunity to put a larger amount down to lower that mortgage. So for example, if you had sold your home by now and you had like $300,000 to put down, you could go ahead and do that before closing and they'll recast your mortgage to the lower amount. I used to think construction loans were complicated, but this really isn't that hard to understand. The biggest thing that you need to know, okay, is you own the home and the debt before construction begins. Usually, again, a production builder carries that risk, but Partners in Building passes it along to you. So there's your big catch. I mean, there are so many good things about Partners in Building that I would recommend you speak with their preferred lender if you're just not sure about the whole construction loan thing. It can be done before you sell your current home, so I really like that. Now, I do want to tell you a few other things about their contract. There won't be any appraisal protection if the appraisal comes in below the sales price. And remember, that appraisal is going to come first before you close and before construction starts. Now, I have to tell you this, okay? You will probably never hear me say that I like something in a new construction contract, okay? So here goes. Okay, you ready? Partners in Building lets you make decisions about what trees are removed. So to me, that is huge. Because usually the first thing production builders do is to turn an entire parcel of land into a giant field, right? But that's not how Partners does it. Their contract says owner is responsible for resolving any issues regarding the removal of trees on the property. So not only are you getting to decide on the elevation and the design and the location, but you also get a say in the topography. I really like that. Now, one thing I really don't like is that they charge a $250 per day late fee. Overall, I just wasn't sure how to rate this contract. Like, having to get a construction loan and taking the risk from day one is completely different from what we've seen with our other luxury builders. It's one of those things that whether or not it's a negative really is up to you as the buyer. With that bit of a wild card, overall, I give Partners in Building a B for their contracts. And I'm sure this comes as no surprise, but I rate Partners in Building with an A+, putting them firmly in first place. I just so much to get excited here, but yeah, that construction loan really is something to think about. Okay, let's talk about Southgate Homes now. I want to break them down step by step so you can decide too if they're the right fit for you. When it comes to design, Southgate has some very nice elevations with high-pitched roof options like we've seen with most of our builders. They also offer a craftsman-inspired look, and I like the direction they're heading with some of their asymmetrical designs. They even have a couple of clean modern styles, which is, like a nice departure from their more traditional look. That said, their designs feel a bit safer compared to the more elaborate features we've seen like with Grand or Shaddock, like spires or unique arches. And it's not that that's a bad thing, okay? It just depends on your taste. They also offer a range of single-story, 1.5-story, and 2-story homes, and we've seen that not all of our luxury builders offer that. One thing that stands out is their website. It is incredibly user-friendly. I mean, they list all 19 of their floor plans in one place, so you're not forced to dig through each community to find options. Plus, they have several 2-story floor plans with media rooms on the first floor. So that's not super common, but it is something that they do feature. They also include designs with ensuite bedrooms on the main floor, and we've had a lot of buyers looking for that. For design, overall, I'm giving Southgate an A-. When it comes to warranties, Southgate offers the 126 warranty and they manage it themselves. So awesome job servicing it themselves, but I really like it when we can get that 10-year structural. So overall, I'm grading them with a B+ here. Now, Southgate does allow for some customization, but it's within fairly tight boundaries. It's not going to hold a candle to what we saw with Partners in Building, but then again, you don't have to get a construction loan either. You can add rooms, which is a nice option, but you can't move walls or redesign the layout. So everything has to work within their predefined floor plans. That being said, their website does a great job showcasing design selections. Their idea gallery is comparable to what we saw with Britton Homes. I mean, it's colorful, detailed, and has great high quality photos. I mean, yeah, okay, we all know Pinterest is great, all right? But the design options are often unique to each builder. So when you have a good idea gallery, you can explore plenty of design ideas on your own time. So I really think that's a huge plus. So for customization, I'm giving Southgate an A. Their Google reviews are a mixed bag, but the volume is pretty low, only 8 total reviews. Now, of those, 63% are above 4.5 stars, which is great, but the remaining 37% scored 4.4 or lower. Now, this isn't a huge sample size, and we've seen that before, so it's hard to draw strong conclusions for this. For Google reviews, I'm giving them a B. When it comes to location, Southgate builds pretty much exclusively on the north side in 5 communities across 3 cities. Their lot sizes are going to range from 50 to 70 feet, which is pretty standard for our luxury builders. I mean, but we always like it when we can see more, right? So, also you can't build on your own lot. So nothing huge here that stands out. So for location and lot options, I'm giving them a B. Let's talk about the terms in Southgate's contracts. They include a default-based convenience clause, which we've gotten used to seeing, but they do allow for tax reproration, and I always get excited when I see that. There's no appraisal protection built in. Again, no surprise there. And if the closing date gets delayed, there's a $250 per day late fee. Now, I'm grading their contracts with a B+. All right, it's a pretty standard contract for what we've been seeing, but I really like that they allow tax reproration. When I stack everything up, Southgate Homes comes out with an overall grade of B+, which puts them in 7th place compared to other builders in this range. So if you're someone though who values strong design options and you really like being able to research online from home, okay, they could be an outstanding fit. When I put them side by side, to me, they seem very similar to Tradition Homes, except Tradition Homes has better reviews. Right about now, you might be wondering why we haven't gotten to Dries or Toll Brothers Homes yet, because they can build a nice luxury home as well. Now, the reason is we already ranked them in a previous video that you can watch right here. In the meantime, Wendy out.